Welcome to day 454 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DeSoFi. So, NFT activity on DeSo, it's been hot, Brian.
Yeah, I mean we continue to see a lot of buys of DeSo NFTs, a lot of activity for sure. I think that the Meta Philosopher account is kind of just spawned a lot of activity. They're continuing to buy themselves, but these last, I guess, three or 4 days, we've seen a substantial number of DeSo NFTs sell for quite high prices. So it's all good news.
Yeah, so far so good. And Natter yesterday, of course, Natter is the founder of the DeSo blockchain, confirmed that he is not Meta Philosopher. I know there's a lot of talk, oh, is this just another Natter account? We actually mentioned it on our show, I think, yesterday. Like, could it be Natter, creating a new account just to stimulate the NFT market on DeSo? But he said it's not him. So I think that's good news. It's nice to see somebody else who's come into the DeSo space, or maybe somebody who's been here and just wants to use a more anonymous name to buy NFTs, jump in and spend a ton of DeSo on NFTs.
Yeah, that was one of my thoughts that went through my head. Maybe Natter's just trying to stimulate the market. He did it in the past, especially when NFTs first launched. So it was now the question that he could be doing it again. I'm happy to see it's not him and it's somebody, some random person that possibly. And maybe we'll see some more of these people jump in.
Yeah, so Meta Philosopher, we of course they bought Unicats and they bought some Clout Punks and they bought a bunch of they bought some effed up cats. They bought a lot of NFTs over the course of the last several days and weeks. But yesterday they had a kind of a little bit of a, I guess you could say, an entertaining drama broke out concerning DeSo OG Brutal. So Brutal, a Ukrainian man who is, he's going through a lot living in Ukraine right now, had is actually an NFT artist. I guess you could say an NFT creator, in that he created the uh, his series, the Effed Up Punks, and number one in that series was up for auction. And this new DeSo whale, Meta Philosopher, came into discovering his NFTs and wanted to buy the very first effed up punk that he had created. And he basically put a bid for of 50 DeSo on it and said, "Listen, Brutal, you have a few hours. I think an hour to accept my bid, or I'm gonna pull it." And the problem was that Brutal no longer owned this NFT. It was actually purchased by Jaylene Cook, who's actually a former Playboy Playmate of the Year. She's a huge NFT collector. She has a huge following on Instagram. I think 394,000 followers. She's an advisor for BR1 Metaverse, which is like this metaverse like game. She's really into NFTs, and she actually owns over 33 DeSo NFTs. She was the owner, but the problem is she lives in New Zealand, and she was sleeping at the time. So Brutal was trying to get a hold of Jaylene in order to get her to accept the bid, but he couldn't. And I think he finally did, but it was just too late. Meta Philosopher had already pulled his bid. So the drama actually continued. Jaylene said she really likes this NFT, and she likes it because of the history behind it. She believes it's the first ever generative NFT art to appear on the DeSo blockchain, which gives it value. And there's actually a really cool story behind it. Brutal posted about it. He created it right in the beginning of NFTs. He's trying to create a CryptoPunk like series on DeSo, but he messed up, and he messed up the x coordinates when he went to generate his artwork, and it moved one of the eyes of his CryptoPunk wannabe outside of its head, and it ended up being created with the eye outside of its head. He minted it as the very first effed up punk, thus the name he effed up in creating it. So Jaylene really,
Stories like these are can be what drive value to NFTs in the future. So, like, if the Diesel blockchain is this really really versatile, really large chain in the future, and people will go back and they will say, "Hey, I want to buy an NFT." This story is something that could appeal to collectors, and it's these type of error things. I remember error baseball cards where you had baseball cards that might have an error, or like there's a this Billy Ripken baseball card where on the barrel of his bat, the bottom of his bat, it said F face. F you know, you can kind of imagine what I mean. F face, and they had to take that away. So only a few of those cards actually got out into circulation. So things like this is what can drive like scarcity and value. So I could see like 5, 10 years down the line, this actually being a very valuable NFT.
Yeah, so the story goes on. Jaylene missed it. She missed the sale. Metaphilosopher had pulled that 50 DeSo bid. Brutal then challenged Metaphilosopher to bid 1,000 DeSo on it. Of course, he wants to get those commissions from the royalties that he would receive. I don't blame him for that. Metaphilosopher placed a bid for 25 DeSo, and Jaylene Cook woke up in New Zealand, I guess sometime this morning, and accepted the bid probably about 20 minutes before this video was created. So the NFT Brutal's Effed Up Punk #1 has sold to Metaphilosopher for 25 DeSo. And it's just a great story. It involves some really interesting players as well.
Yeah, congrats to everybody involved, Brutal, Jaylene, Meta Philosopher. Great to see this activity. It's definitely helping DeSo. It's creating a lot of engagement, a lot of excitement, and hopefully we can continue to see stuff like this happen.
And this is likely going to add value to other Effed Up Punks by Brutal. I mean, I would assume
Right?
so. So moving on, NFTZ we have officially moved the top offers back onto the homepage. So because of Postgres issues with the new hard fork of DeSo, we had to get rid of the latest top offers from the homepage just because they were out of sync, they weren't updated, they weren't accurate. So Postgres is now working. We are now resynced with the DeSo core blockchain, and Top Offers is now back on our homepage. It shows all of the top bids on NFTs in the last 24 hours. If you click on Top Offers, it would open up a whole nother page and show all of the top bids so you can see even more. Also, in a few days, we have a new feature that we're going to release that's going to show all of the top sales from the last 24 hours. So, there's all these NFTs selling on DeSo in the last several days. It would be really interesting to see which were the top sales from yesterday or from the last 24 hours. We have this feature coming very soon, hopefully within the next few days. And I just want to mention some stats from NFTZ. So yesterday there were 85 DeSo NFTs sold for over 600 DeSo. And traffic to nftz.me doubled in the last few days. So activity is definitely picking up with DeSo NFTs. Activity is definitely picking up on nftz.me. I also want to mention the top active bidders / offerers in the last 24 hours, according to NFTZ stats. These are people who have bid on NFTs that are up for offer. These are not buy now NFTs. Meta Philosopher leads the pack in the last 24 hours with 38 bids, 38 offers, whatever you want to call them. Followed by, do you know this name, Brian? I know you know how to pronounce it, but I don't.
Uh, I
Prezemi Slaw Digon is what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Let me see. It's yeah. I can't remember. I mess it up every time. Uh, Apologies. I would have Googled it and looked at the pronunciation again, but I didn't even realize it
All
was
right.
on this list.
Apologies to Mr. P. Followed by Ruby Raphael, Mercury, DeSo OG, Leb Big Mac, Nigel's, another DeSo OG, Diamond VC, Clout Ninja, SSSS NFT, and Dow Bank. So those are the top bidders or offers in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's nice to go through that list just to see who's actually doing all this bidding. Maybe you can get their attention if you have some NFTs for sale. But it's interesting during this crypto winter, if you want to call it. NFTZ is doubling its traffic. DeSo NFTs are seeing some of the dollar volume. I think it's probably about 5 to 10 times what it had been over the last few weeks in one day, and that's just a positive sign. Just a few active, really engaged users who are getting excited about NFTs can really increase the market. And all you need are 5, 10 of these people, and things really become quite interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So DeSo
Uh,
released
so
another video, Brian.
Yeah, so Jacob Van released another video is introducing DeSo. It was a very good video. Definitely go to their YouTube, the DeSo YouTube channel, and check it out. Great information. If you're whether you're new to DeSo, old to DeSo, it's definitely something you want to check out. And they're just continuing to build this library of content that's going to help onboard people, help people better understand the blockchain, understand what DeSo is all about. So great job, Jacob Van.
It's a great video to share to friends who you want to tell about DeSo, who need to learn about DeSo. Uh, if you're trying to onboard somebody, this is a quick, I think it's like a 7 or 8 minute video that you can quickly show them. And it pretty much sums up everything about DeSo.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on, GD Virtual Galleries. He has this DeSo verse, so like this DeSo themed metaverse experience that he's created. And Rhubarb stepped in, paid a visit to the DeSo verse, and GDS actually had a photo session with him, a photography session where he did a photo shoot with Rhubarb in this virtual world. Really cool. It was he said it was the second time was ever a photographer in a virtual world. I'm sure Rhubarb probably his first time he was ever photographed in a virtual world. GDS said maybe Natter will stop by next, and could be maybe his third subject to be photographed. So really cool what GDS is doing. GD Virtual Galleries, of course, is doing amazing things, kind of merging DeSo with the metaverse, NFTs with the metaverse.
And photography.
Definitely check it out. And photography, of course.
Yeah, so
Uh,
Clay Oglesby said that Lix is looking to start sending early Discord invites out to some of the OGs on DeSo as soon as tomorrow. And then after that, the public opening of the Discord for everyone will be sometime next week, sometime shortly after next week. So probably 1 to 2 weeks from now. But for those who don't know, and I didn't know until a few days ago, Lix is a DAO, and it's going to be an NFT staking platform that gives project owners the ability to reward their collectors. Uh, Sounds really intriguing to me. Lix is also the platform's primary token, so you're going to use Lix, you can buy DAO coins, and Lix is going to be a staking platform for NFTs. So this is something else that might really help stimulate NFTs on DeSo. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to learn more about exactly how the NFT staking process works, but I think this is something that could really bring people into DeSo NFTs.
Yeah, and I was checking out some of the tokenomics. It looks like they're going to mint 1 billion coins, if I'm not mistaken. 500 million will actually be reserved for that staking mechanism where you can earn more licks. I love this idea. If Clay can get it to work out in a fair way, which I'm pretty confident he can, I think it definitely could be an amplifier of the DeSo NFT marketplace. And running NFTZ, I'm interested. Maybe we can work with him and integrate this somehow in the future. But way to go, Clay, and bringing some excitement to the space for sure.
Yep.
So also, as you know, NFT's New York City is taking place this week. And as we said earlier, I think yesterday, there are a lot of DeSo OGs in New York for this event. Uh, Matryoshka posted a picture yesterday. They were at the Nebula in New York City. She was with Darian Parrish, who she met, Jay Lamb, and Manish. They got to talk DeSo. They got to talk NFTs. I'm sure. Great time. It looked like they had a fun time. I wish we could have been there. We couldn't. I'm traveling, of course, but I miss all those people. Miss them all. They're great people. Darian also posted an image of Ed Moss, who I assume is also in New York City, and said that he's his man. Uh, I'm kind of bummed we're not there.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss hanging out with all those people. So next time for sure.
Moving us slightly away from DeSo, but talking about a DeSo OG, Mario Nawfal. he's been holding these gigantic Twitter spaces every week. Last week, they had over 20,000 listeners. This week, they're expecting possibly more than 20,000 listeners. They're giving away over $10,000 at all these Twitter spaces. Uh, and and the events are just amazing how he's able to draw these people in. The title of this event today, which actually takes place at 11 a.m. Eastern time, is the roundtable, the next bull run, what to expect. $10,000 giveaway. And I was talking to Mario this morning, just talking about what he's doing there, talking about DeSo a little bit. Great guy. He's so enthusiastic about Web3, so knowledgeable. And I love that he's doing this. I'm definitely going to be listening in incognito mode for sure as I drive across the state of Iowa later this morning. But great job, Mario.
Yeah, Mario's a Web3 expert, I guess you could call him. Like, definitely one of the thought leaders in Web3. And listening to him speak about Web3 is just, it gives you so much more knowledge. You can learn so much. So definitely check out his Twitter Spaces event today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can see the link just above this video on DeSo or below it on YouTube. You'll learn a lot, I promise.
Yeah. So the top hashtags according to Open Prosper, last 24 hours, NFT, DeSo, Web3, crypto, and music. So all ones we've seen before. NFT is up there probably because of all the action we're seeing. And the top diamond creators over the last 24 hours, according to Altum Base, Clay Oglesby up there, who we just mentioned with Licks, and he's doing great things. He made a post yesterday about what's happening within the NFT space. Now and Then is number 2, followed by Krasenstein, Slava, Mashalin, Happy Rabbit, MP3, Gabby, Joe Jerome, and Mick Marsh. So congrats to all of them.
Yeah, congratulations. And I want to just welcome back a few people who had been gone from DeSo for over 30 days and who have come back to take some sort of action on DeSo, according to Open Prosper. Noel Fernandez, definitely a DeSo OG. He's back. He came back to take an action. Owen G, another DeSo OG. Aerosol Friends. Cloudy Cat, that's our cat. He came back. I guess he came back when I was
Cloudy's
sleeping.
back.
I was sleeping yesterday. He must have come onto my computer. And Kleb, CLEB, definitely another OG of DeSo. So I just want to welcome those people back, and well, I guess I should say people and creatures back. It's good to have you back, and hopefully you stick around. Maybe you help reignite some of the NFTs on DeSo and reignite the community. I think that's all the news we have for today. Brian, you'll still be in Iowa for what, the next 2 days?
Well, so I have an early flight tomorrow, so you might be doing this by yourself unless you have a guest on. And Saturday morning, I'll be back at the office.
Yeah, so today is Thursday, right? So tomorrow I actually have an event in the morning. I go to my son's preschool for a daddy son DIY project at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So these videos are probably going to be a little late tomorrow, and I guess I'm going to be doing it solo. But I'll talk to you tomorrow, and I'll get all the news to you then, and have a great day.